Hello friends and welcome back to another instructional video. In this video, we'll be preparing another PPAT task for video submission, but this time, instead of doing one continuous 15-minute clip, this time we're going to create a 15-minute clip that's made up of 3 5-minute continuous clips. Now, ETS is very specific on the editing that you can do. So we cannot take 2 minutes that are good here, 2 minutes that are good there, and put them together. We can select 5-minute increments, and we're submitting a total of 3 of them. So I am going to go ahead. This is my single clip. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new project. I'm going to call this PPAT task for video, and I'm going to call it 2. Since I already made one of these, I want to have a different title. I'm going to hit enter, and it's already taking me back to the last place where I had my original video. Just to kind of refresh that, I clicked on desktop, and I will go to pictures or photos where I showed you to download earlier in an earlier video, and I asked that you make a PPAT folder. And you'll notice I have 2 things in here. I have the task for video. You'll see it's a .mov. It's 27 minutes long. And then I have this other one, this MP4 edited. So this would be one to submit. This is the original file. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my original file. And you might have 2 clips that are from the same lesson. So you might have other ones. So this is 1. So you might have 1 and 2. I just have a single clip. And it's probably best if you two just record a single clip and then pick 5 minutes from within there. 3 5-minute segments. So I'm going to click create. It's going to create our project. It's preparing the media. And what we have now is we have the entire 27-minute clip in the timeline. And you'll notice that we have these time markers that it extends past 25 minutes. This time what we're going to do is we're going to move our playhead. This is this blue strip, this blue line, and I can move to different parts of the clip. So let's say that at first I'd probably watch the whole clip, and I'd note where are the 3 sections. So maybe you want to show the first part, maybe you're giving direct instruction and some instructions. So maybe you might show the opening of the lesson. You might show the middle where you're visiting with tables. And then the third clip might be your closing, how you wrap up the lesson. Now what I'm going to do is I want to break this into 3 parts, and then I will trim each part. So I can use these scissors to cut, okay? So let's say that I'm going to take a 5-minute clip within here. And then this one I am going to cut again. Now you want to be strategic where you put this playhead so that it's in between the different sections you want to cut. So I can see that if I go there, so now I have 3 clips, but my whole timeline is still too long. So what I want to do is I want to make this clip end right around here. So I can start by just putting that at about 5 minutes, and I can move that there. This is kind of like I could do like a rough edit, and let's see that the next one is going to go from 5 to 10, and maybe this one I want to trim a little at the beginning, maybe a little at the end, and so now I'm at approximately, I have a 5-minute clip, another 5-minute clip, and then this last one, let's say that my closing is the most important part, but I don't want to I know my foot comes up here, I think, or maybe not. I guess I trimmed that out. As I pointed the camera down. But I'm going to move this to there, and you'll notice that it will snap to wherever you put the playhead. So if you put the playhead at the precise spot where your clip begins, so let's say that this clip is going to maybe start somewhere here. I can drag this over, and you'll notice that I'm still past that 15-minute mark, so maybe I have to drag that more. And let's see, I'm still past that. So this clip itself, let's give me a time on here. See, that time is just showing where I am in the clip from the beginning to the end, so that's not so helpful. But if I just kind of go off this 15, I can make sure that then that is 15 minutes. Okay, now, like I said, we just did like a rough edit first, and now I want to come in here and I'm going to zoom my timeline in. So I can do this by dragging this scroll bar. If I drag that in, it'll zoom in, magnify our timeline, and then I can scroll. Let's see, there's 5 minutes, so you can see that this one looks pretty good. So if I drag that, let's see. You'll notice that it's showing me that that's right at 5 now. Okay. Let's see. So now here's our next clip starting at 5. I can put the playhead right at that seam, and that should be 5 minutes. And it looks like, yeah, right there at the end. So then I come into my next clip, and we want to make sure that this one is 5 minutes. So we're going to come to the 10-minute mark. And you can see that we are 10 minutes, 5 seconds. So we want this now to get adjusted to that 10-minute mark. Okay. And so if I scroll this, the important numbers that we're watching are right here. So this is the playhead position within the sequence. So we want this second clip to end at 10 minutes, and we're just a little past that. So I'm just going to scroll that back a little. Let's see. We get one there. 10:1. Let's scroll here. I don't know. I might have to zoom in a little more to get that much precision if I'm just cutting off a tiny little bit. Let's see. Well, it actually looks okay. So this one, let's say if I had it a little too long, if I put the playhead at that mark, you'll see it's at 10 minutes and 0.8. So I'm going to scroll that back. Let's see if we put that playhead right at the end. Still a little long, just a hint, just a smidge. Back that up a little. And right there is 10. Okay, so that means that my first two clips are 5 minutes. And then what I want to do is I want to make sure that this last one does not extend past the 15-minute mark. So we'll scroll to 15 minutes. And you'll see at this point, now I am going past, I'm at 15 minutes, 5 seconds. So what I need to do now is I need to come in here and back this up to that 15-minute mark. Let's see. Little too much, little just a smidge too long. Let's try to back that up a little. I might have taken off a little too much. It's still just a little smidge. Let's see. Okay. I think we're good. Let's see. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. Let's see if we can get that exactly at 15. So it's like right there. See if we'll snap, and it will. Okay. So if we get that playhead right to where we want it, you can see that 15:00. Then it makes it a little easier because then I can just clip this and it snaps. Okay. So now we have a video clip. We have 3 video clips that are each 5 minutes long. Okay. So I have clip 1, clip 2, clip 3. It's important that you are not cutting in the middle of these clips. They have to be 5-minute continuous clips and then put together to form a 15-minute video file. At this point, I suggest you play your entire video and make sure that you don't want to make any adjustments. Maybe you have to make the video, maybe you might adjust this to start a little earlier and then end a little earlier to stay within that 5 minutes. And you do want to have them in order. So this should be the first part of your lesson, middle, and towards the end. Okay? At this point, we're ready to export our file so that we'll have something that we can upload to the ETS website. I'm going to go ahead and click on the share button up top, and we're going to share it locally. We don't want to put it on any of these public places. I want to give it a name, and so we want to distinguish this from the original file. So I'm going to say edited PPAT task 4 video, and I'm going to call it 2 since I did create one that was a 15-minute clip. We do want to designate where to save it, so I'm going to click on that link right here. Click on there, and it will let me open my my Finder, and I'm going to tell it I want to put it in my Pictures folder. I have a PPAT video file there. I'm going to choose that, and we'll notice right here that this file is way too big. It's more than 4 times as large as ETS permits. So this needs to be a 500 megabyte file. So in order to fix that, I'm going to click this drop-down menu for advanced settings. We don't want to do automatic. Let's see, I'm going to set maybe custom. Resolution, I'm going to set to 720p HD. And you'll notice that it's giving me a preview right now. Since I had this in low the last time I did this with the previous PPAT video, it looks good, but I'm going to just change it because you might notice it by default it will probably start as high quality. So you'll notice this is 992 megabytes, almost double the size that we're allowed. So I'm going to change that from high. Let's try medium. Medium's still over that 500 megabytes. Finally, we're going to go to low. And you'll notice now at low, it is 328 megabytes. I can preview my video here if I want, and I just want to make sure that this number right here, that the sequence is exactly 15 minutes. We don't want to go over time. Okay. Last step is I'm going to click export on this. It will give you an estimate of how long it might take. In my case, it looks like it's going to take about 8 minutes. I will speed up the video at this point. Okay, that might have been a little over 8 minutes. That might have been more like 10 on my computer. But at this point, I would encourage you to view in Finder. This will pop up the location where you have that file saved. My window's a little big. But as you can see, this actually went to the wrong place. I thought I had specified for it to go to my Pictures folder. So maybe what I might do is I might move it there. I'm going to drag it over. And I'm going to put it in my PPAT video folder. Okay, if I double click now, you'll notice I have, this is the first video where it was one single clip. And then the second video that we just made, these were 3 5-minute clips that we put together. I would encourage you to play that video. Make sure it looks how you want it to look. Make sure that it is not over 15 minutes long. It should be exactly 15 minutes, not longer, not shorter. Play through the whole thing. Make sure the things that you want to write about are all there. But at this point, you are ready to upload your video to the ETS website. So make sure to follow their instructions for doing so. This is not uploaded with the rest of the artifacts for PPAT. It has its own special place in task 4 to upload. Thanks for learning with me, and I'll see you next time.